belief, arranger, adaptability, futuristic, restorative.
When you try
My top 5 strengths. Before I finally reached my dream of becoming a student at the University of Minnesota, my strengths were definitely not something I ever focused on.
when you feel so tired but you can't
Rather, I focused on how I did not believe I was good enough, not a good enough student, not a good enough friend, and not a good enough me. High school was not ideally comfortable as I went through most of my teenage years. Depression and anxiety ruled my life. But during my senior year of high school, I came to realize a few very important aspects of my daily life that could help give me the strength I needed to be a person that I truly admire. My sole source of strength was and is my faith. It has always been a part of my life and something that I learn and grow in daily. My wonderful parents, and also my rocks, have raised me to be a wonderful young woman. They raised me in a Christian church and guided me to believe in my own way and not let influences of our society dictate who I am and who I will become. My parents and the communities that I have become a part of through my faith were my people of solace as I struggled through being a teenager. Their optimistic thoughts of my future has been what has driven me to be a good student. On January 31st, when I finally received my acceptance letter to the University of Minnesota, my parents were the first people to exclaim my joy with. That moment is when I finally saw the optimistic success for my future that they've seen all along. My dream job I hope to prepare for here at the University of Minnesota is to become a therapist or a social worker. I have always loved helping people and being a support to them. I realized this passion by going on multiple mission trips throughout high school. These trips have all taught me that the little things in life truly can make or break a person, and I believe everyone has little things in life worth living for. Although living close to home was an important factor when making my college decision, so was the Department of Psychology, which the university has a great program for. When the day finally came around for me to move into my room at Frontier Hall, I was completely ecstatic. Although my roommate Christine, that I had met on Facebook, would not be moving in for another few days, I was completely ecstatic to learn how to live life on my own. Being the baby of the family, it's been hard to learn how to manage my time and figure things out on my own. But what I was very quickly blessed with is amazing friends on my floor that I'm now able to call some of my closest and greatest friends ever. My roommate and I have gotten along more than I ever would imagine possible. We have sleepovers multiple times a week and stay up much later than we really should. We have gone to many University of Minnesota sports events to cheer on our fellow Gophers. We even share clothes sometimes. But most importantly, we bond together as friends and roommates by staying healthy, doing our homework sometimes, and being the highlight of each other's day when things aren't always so great. Besides my roommate are the wonderful hallmates that we've become so close with. Immediately, we bonded by breaking down walls of awkwardness. Each one of these girls has taught me what it means to be a true friend. They have not only accepted every weird and silly quirk I have, but they have torn down walls of resistance that I have built over time to keep people out. With arms wide open, they have proven to me that I am awesome and that I do have great things to offer. Although I have been greatly blessed with the people around me, I have still deeply struggled with the beginning of college. Coming from an international baccalaureate school, classes in high school were either very simple or extremely difficult for me, so handpicking classes to fit me personally has been a completely foreign idea filled with a lot of freedom I am still learning how to handle. I immediately began to slack, still stuck in my senior slide. At first, I didn't know how to get out of the hole I was digging for myself. Then I approached my parents and then my roommate about my lack of studious efforts. They both told me that I simply need to hold myself together. In order to do so, I began to ease back on this silliness with the girls in my hallway and focus more on being by myself to get work done. With so many different resources around me, I didn't know where to start. So I started with Deal Hall and the library there, considering that it's only a few minutes away from Frontier Hall. Once I got into the hang of things and had support to tell me that I am capable of going to infinity and beyond, I've started to get back on task and be the student I know I'm capable of being. Although my main purpose of going to school is to gain knowledge for my future goals and careers, it's not exactly what I have learned the most about my first semester here. But what I have learned so much about my first semester here at the University of Minnesota is the freedom I have to create the person I want to be. From the great words of George Bernard Shaw, life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. This has truly been the testimony of my life over the past few years, and especially at now what I call my second home, the University of Minnesota. Although this semester, I've spent the majority of my time building support systems around me and focusing on who I am as a student, I'm aware of the abundant available resources I have, and I will be taking advantage of them throughout the next few years I have here. After this first semester, I know that I have made the perfect decision in my college of choice. And for now, I am reflecting and planning on the mark I hope to make as Grace Blomgren. Belief, arranger, adaptability, futuristic, and restorative.